Finance to combat global warming is critical. The complexity of accessing these funds is a real challenge for developing countries to implement their climate change mitigation and adaptation programs and projects. Climate finance goes through several donors, including the support development banks, the multilateral environment institutions, and the bilateral and multilateral corporations. As the EU pledges to support climate action with $200 billion over the next 5 years, the Senegalese and Gambian counterparts have met here at the COP24 to develop mechanisms to access these funds. The least developed countries like the Gambia and Senegal are left with no option but to adapt to the impacts of climate change. This event is set to create an opportunity to share experiences on accreditation processes of the international and regional banks as well as private and public institutions. According to the Senegalese UNFCCC focal point, Madeleine Rose Diouf, it will also provide an opportunity for the private sector and civil society to exchange on green climate fund opportunities.
We can also, by having this combination of effort and expertise, we can really have some good project and also be in a position to have some critical amount of support from the GCF.
Alpha Jallo, the Gambian UNFCCC focal point, shared the Gambia's experience on the readiness program by the Green Climate Fund.
The fund includes grants and also loans. And from the beginning, if we include and involve Minister of Finance in it, we might not have a challenge of them accepting a guaranteeing national loans or any private sector loan. But if you don't involve them from the beginning, it will be a challenge convincing them to guarantee. And then that's why we choose the Minister of Finance as a national designated authority for the Climate Change Fund.
Former Environment Minister Pa Ousmane Jaju and the current Director of Green Climate Fund mentioned that guidelines and procedures are under review by the GFC board to make accreditation and funds more accessible.
As least developed countries, we are told that our procedures and guidelines are very complex, but we are in the process of reviewing them. What one needs to recognize is that we are also mandated by the board to have certain policies that would require changing our templates here and there to meet some guidelines.
Negotiations are underway for developed countries to release funds to the least developed countries to implement climate change adaptation projects. Reporting for GRTS News in Kotowice, Poland, I'm by Ibrahim Cham.